Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever part of the world you are. I just want to say welcome to another edition of the Icon IT Information Session Live, where we come to you with great information to help transform your life, to give you advice, to give you direction, to be able to help give you a chance to plug into the IT industry, which is the fastest growing industry in the world today, which is where a lot of people are taking advantage and making significant income and making significant changes in their lives, right? And this afternoon or this evening, I have a guest who will be talking to you about his journey in this industry. This young man is amazing. I will bring him on in due time. But before we even get to that, I just want to welcome each and every one of you. If you are joining us, whatever part of the world you're joining us from, we are glad to have you. Please go ahead, subscribe to our channels, share this video, invite more people to come and watch. I can tell you, information like this comes to change lives. You never know the impact you might have on somebody just by giving them a chance to learn of the opportunity to pivot into something different, to move them from where they are to where they want to be, right? It's important to understand. So to join the live show, please look at our YouTube page, look at our Facebook page. You should be able to join all of those from those pages. All right, we're glad to have you. Go ahead, subscribe to our channel, right? Go ahead and share this link, invite more people to join. Thank you very much for hopping on. As I told you, stay put, stay patient. We have a very interesting guest today. He's a young man. When I talk to him, I have a good time because he is very open, is transparent, but most importantly, he is committed to share his story in a way that helps other people get better in life. He's committed to be able to get other people on the path in which he has himself. But before we get into that, I just wanted to take a minute to talk about a few things coming up, right? And if you're watching us right now, we have a new session kicking off in the next 5 days. We're starting on Tuesday, the 25th. I'm going to be sharing that flyer with you in due course today. And I just wanted to share that information, let each and everyone know for sure that if you are interested in the Scrum Master program with Icon IT, we have an opportunity coming up for you. So wherever you are, if you're joining us, we're very, very happy. We're excited. We're very excited to have you. We are glad you are watching us today from whatever part of the world you're watching us. It's a great plumping pleasure. So right now, I'm going to do the first thing I want to do. I just want to be able to share my screen here for a minute, right? And just show you exactly I just want to show you exactly the plan for the next class, which is coming up on the 25th of October. So it's going to be starting on Tuesday, the 25th, and it will run through till December the 1st. And this class is going to be happening twice a week on Tuesdays and on Thursdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right? So this is the flyer. If you need more information about the class, just go ahead, fill the link in the chat. You'll give you a chance to book a one-on-one appointment with me, and I can give you a little bit more information on that. Another thing I wanted to share with you today, but before I do that, I would like to certainly invite the young man who actually is one of our guests of honors today, right? And he will be joining us all the way from the beautiful city of Atlanta, right? And before I call him up, I would like to first of all just give you the reasons why I believe it's very important that you listen to this young man, okay? And he will tell you in his own words. But before he does that, I want you to understand exactly why I believe that stories like this, right? Stories like this is the reason why a lot of us need to hop onto shows like this to learn about opportunities that exist, right? Because with opportunities like this, with stories like this, you get a chance to really hear firsthand from people who a few years ago, a few months ago, a few years ago, were sitting like you somewhere and thinking of how best they could move their careers forward. Okay. And this young man is a very experienced agile professional. He's a professional senior scrum master. He works for a very top company, transforming that company out in Frederick, Maryland, being able to bring in new processes and new ways of work that has also been able to give the company leverage in that industry. He comes with significant amount of experience. He's a very, very humble young man. A few years ago, he was in the food service business, and today he'll be joining you as an agile professional to talk to you a little bit about his story, right? To talk to you exactly about how where life has brought him thus far. Please join me wherever you are to welcome Mr. Rodney Fobi. Rodney, how you doing?
I'm doing well, and you?
Now I feel blessed today. Awesome day to be alive, my man. It's always a great plumping pleasure just having you on the call, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I know it's a Friday. You finish the work week. You have the kids probably wanting you to take them out for ice cream. You have the wife needing her weekend dinner. You have the family. You have your boys also wanting and wondering when you guys are going to catch a beer. But you found the time to join us, man. I'm excited. I'm happy and I'm glad you joined us. So, how is Atlanta today?
Atlanta's a little cold today, but it's bearable. Definitely
Wonderful,
that change of season.
wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. I mean, for those watching us on the line, I know they're here. They're not here to listen to me. They listen to me every week, right? They're certainly here to just hear from you. So, tell us a little bit about your background, right? Where you started, where you are right now.
Quick question. So originally, before I got into Scrum, I was doing sales, and not even sales. I was a server. So I was serving in a restaurant, serving plates and drinks and all of that. And after taking the Scrum Master course and believing in myself, I went ahead and took the leap of faith. I put out my job applications, and now I am a Scrum Master for IQVIA. And for those of you who don't know, IQVIA, we do
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for the young man. Wonderful.
Thank you. But IQVIA, we're all over the world. We work as a health company. So just a synopsis of just a little piece of what we do. Back in which is I'm still amazed that I got to do this as a Scrum Master. Back when the pandemic was going on, through the company I work for, we actually partner with companies to be able to get a lot of the COVID trials happen. So, for example, one of the companies you are familiar with, Moderna,
Correct.
we help them with the patients and being able to go through the drug trials for their COVID-19 medicine. So not only did I become a Scrum Master, but I feel like I helped change the world. So that's just a little piece of my journey.
In, incredible, and what is beautiful about what you just shared with us? I didn't even know that about the work you do. I just knew that you're a Scrum Master. You came to Icon IT and were able to work together and get you to where you wanted to be with your life. But I didn't realize that you don't only serve as a Scrum Master, but you serve as an agent of change. I didn't even know that you had to work to make sure the Moderna vaccines and all the different things were able to be supplied around the world through great supply chains and tracking all those who've taken the shots and things like that. Man, thank you. So Rodney, I mean, in the course of your professional life so far as a Scrum Master, right? Tell me, what were the challenges you faced trying to pivot from somebody serving in a restaurant, working in the food service business, thinking about maybe $10, $12 an hour, to trying to get your mind to the place where you can believe that you deserve a right to be part of the industry making $70, $80 an hour. What was that transformation like for you?
It was marvelous. It wasn't easy, but it was definitely worth it. The biggest thing I really struggled with within the transformation was believing in myself. Believing in myself that I can be able to lead the Scrum team, as well as that I am worth that $70, $80 an hour. So
Yes.
for being a server, you really don't think it's like, no, they're gonna expect me to do this. I need to have this many more years. I feel like this is not my time. I need to wait. But a lot of the hesitancy was just really within myself. So as I really start to believe in myself that, yeah, I can really do this. It's really just working with people. I know how to work with people. And I believe in myself that no matter what task is put in front of me, I can get it done. So it was really just my self-confidence. But apart from that, the knowledge, the class was, I want to say, was easy, but the teacher made it easy.
Yeah.
Miss Christine, she made it very easy for me to digest the information. And that right there, I didn't have any hurdles with learning the information. It's just really believing that, all right, this is it to the job. I'm as a server, I'm working for maybe 11 hours a day on my feet, and then come into a Scrum Master, and I'm a remote Scrum Master at that. I'm working barely 4 hours a day.
Mhm.
So before I even got into this environment, it was just I'll hear other Scrum Masters talk about it. I'm like, no, 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 there's something else. There's something that's missing. So the biggest part was just really me believing in myself that I can do this. I'm worthy of that 70, 80, 90. I'm looking at $100 an hour now at some other
Wow.
position. But
Wow.
just believing in myself that what I'm worth it. I can do this and I'm worth the money.
That's incredible news. That's incredible news, Rodney. And one of the things that even makes it more incredible is the fact that it's not only getting into the space like a Scrum Master, but it's also the transformation that happens to you as a person, right?
Yes.
Finally realizing that, listen, the guys who are there as part of the 8% making over six figures in America, the people being paid 70, 80, $90, $100 an hour, these guys are not geniuses. These guys are not some supermen or superwomen. These guys, the only difference is number one, they got information. Number two, they just took a decision that I am going to change my life no matter what, right? So tell me a little bit, how has becoming a Scrum Master changed your life? What has that meant in your life? And for those who are just joining us, we appreciate you joining us. Go ahead, subscribe to our channel, share this video, share the link, invite your friends and family to join us on this live stream. And if you need a one-on-one appointment, go ahead, click on the link, and you book a one-on-one appointment where we can give you more information about the upcoming Scrum class starting on Tuesday. But before we get into any of that, if you're still hanging on the fence trying to make a decision, here is somebody who was hanging on the fence at some point, and today the story is different. Wonderful. So tell me a little bit, Rodney, what in real terms has becoming a Scrum Master done to change your life, your family life, and your plans for the future?
It's provided a lot more options and freedom. As I stated, back as a server or any of the other jobs I did before even getting into the career as a Scrum Master, I spent a lot of my times actually just on the job trying to get different tasks done. Well, as a Scrum Master, I know that it's a certain amount of tasks that I need to do for the company. Your company's tasks will vary, but usually the tasks that you need to get done, you could get it done within a couple of hours. And that includes having the meetings and doing everything. So it's been a lot of freedom in that sense. And then the other freedom comes in just having more money in my pocket. It comes with more options. My
Correct.
living has changed. My price of how much I'm paying for my renting has changed. Oh,
As
but it's just, and I've been able to go
you
on
probably
trips.
need your lights. We can't see you very well.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
No
apologize.
problem.
Let me
Just,
change my
just,
location.
yeah.
I've been able to go on trips. I've been very fortunate to give back.
Absolutely.
Is that better?
Hmm.
All right. I do apologize about that.
No
But
problem. Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
I've been able to give back. And one of the things that I found out with being a Scrum Master that really changed me is how I interact with others. So now I find myself trying to coach others in whatever they have going on in their life. And I'm often trying to coach others to come into Scrum Masters because within my organization, I find I'm the only Black person that was on my team.
Oh,
And this
wow.
is added one more Black person to the organization. So I find myself now just being a coach in every sense. If I see anybody that needs assistance within whether it's a small task or a big task, I take it upon myself to assist as much as possible. And I know I
Amazing.
get a lot back from that because when you teach somebody something, that means you really know it. As well as you're helping somebody. You don't know who else they're going to help in the future. When Mr. Gustav started this whole Icon IT, he wasn't aware that was going to change my life. But
That's
he
right.
taught it off to others and then passed it on to me. And that's what I'm just hoping to do now. Just pass it on to others so they can come on, get in here, make a lot of money, have a lot more free time, and then construct your life how you want to.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the beautiful thing, you talked about options, and it just occurred to me, right? Like you talked about, the change in the environment where you live, and all of a sudden you're in a place which was a little dark. You could move over to another place. The house is big enough. It has places where you have more lighting.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? That's the beautiful thing about it. So, but talking about some of the real changes that comes to life, right? Just based on this, it's certainly very amazing to really see the transformation, to see also the impact it has on our lives, right? As we move forward, even from the family perspective, even every once in a while, when I'm on social media and I'm looking through Facebook, I saw some pictures. I think it was a week or two ago. You were out at a wedding somewhere, and man, you're looking fly in this tuxedo, and you're standing like you own the place. You know what I mean? And I was just about to ask to put a comment under your that picture. Hey, who has the key to your Rolls Royce or something, right? So, man, on a serious note, we are here to talk about life changing opportunity. We're here to talk about things that make a difference to human beings, right? And the beautiful thing is, for someone like you, tell us. I know people are curious to understand. When you heard about an opportunity like this, sometimes it's very confusing in your head, right? Because as human beings, we always like certainty. We like things that we are familiar with. We like things that we know are going to work, that has guarantee. How did you psych yourself up to say, you know what, I might not understand everything about what I'm going to do, but I believe this opportunity is going to change my life and I'm going to do it? How did you get yourself to that point?
That's a great question. So with that question, I really have to go ahead and give thanks to the person who knows it all, which is my mother. She's the one who actually told me about being a Scrum Master at all. I had no idea that Scrum Master was a job.
Mothers for the win.
Yes, and I really have to give her flowers for this. So my brothers are all in IT, and up until this point,
No, we got to give the mother some cheers right there. We got to
yes,
give mama an applause.
yes, she is wonderful. She is everything, and thank you for that. Cheers. She is well deserved. Um, So, so my brothers are all into IT. I have different DBAs, analysts. They all do that route. But one of the things about me was I was never really interested in technology. I'm more interested in working with people. So one of my biggest hesitancy with even becoming a Scrum Master was as soon as I heard that it has to do with IT, I was like, whoa, I don't like coding. I don't like numbers. I don't want to sit in front of a computer all day. So that was one of my biggest hesitancy. So with finding about Scrum Master, it took me about, I want to say maybe a month or two, a while before I joined the Icon IT class. But as I was getting the information, I took it upon myself as well to also reach out to other Scrum Masters and see how their experiences are going.
Mhm.
And after reaching out to other Scrum Masters, even shadowing a few Scrum Masters to see how the day-to-day basis goes, I felt a little more encouraged. But one of the best things that I'm really proud of myself with just investing in this course was just that I didn't give up on myself. I knew that the road was not going to be easy. I I challenged myself daily to actually treat, once I got done with the course, to treat the job hunting as a job itself.
Mhm.
Spending time, whether it's applying for the jobs or just researching further material within the Scrum Masters that might pop up during the interviews that I feel like I want to know more about.
Mhm.
Really just taking that time and really just putting dedication towards myself, make it to ensure that I have everything prepared, everything lined up. I got the knowledge from Icon IT. I need to go ahead and get the experience out here. So in order
Mhm.
for me to get the experience, I need to find out, maybe this, I want to learn, I want to work more in the software world. I go in there and what I wanted to work in changed from different interviews to interviews. A company will
All
give you
right.
an interview, and I'm like, oh yeah, this sounds interesting. I want to work for Google. I want to work, and I'll go in there and I'll start diving in, learning about the software development life cycle. Or I want to work for a bank.
Absolutely.
And I go learning all these different things. So I treated the job hunting as really as a job. I invested that time in myself to make sure that I'm applying in the mornings, learning throughout the day, and at the end of the day, I feel accomplished. I put enough effort towards this. But
Wonderful.
so far as the biggest encouragement, and again, the Scrum Master was really seeing somebody I shouted a check. Once I saw that check, I was like, okay, I go to work and I see how much I'm making here as a server, or I'm making in the sales industry, and I saw how much somebody made in a check. Their check of 2 weeks of work. They were a contractor, but they showed me 2 weeks work. I'm not going to get into contracting versus full-time employment, but they
Mhm.
showed me 2 weeks worth of a check, of a paycheck. And after 2 weeks, I made the decision that this what I'm doing right now is not, I'm not living the life that I'm supposed to live. God wants better output, God wants better for me. So that was a very big boost. It was a very big boost, to look at that check and let's see what I'm learning. You must, and as she touched on it earlier, what? all these other Scrum Masters and Agile leads, they all have the same amount of hours in the day as I do. They were all
Yes.
born just like I do. You know, they all came from a mother and a father. So it's just everything. They're all human like I am. So whatever they can do, I feel that if I put enough time, enough effort into it, I can be able to do what they can do. And that's exactly how my mindset kind of changed with gravity.
Absolutely. And you know, Rodney, thank you for sharing that. Just because mindset is a big part, not only in the industry, but in anything in life, right? Especially when you're trying to pivot from what you are used to, what you're comfortable with, to what you are not used to, what you're not comfortable, which is technically at that time the unknown, right?
Yes.
That is when you have to really believe a lot in your why. Why am I trying to do this?
Mm.
See, I tell a lot of people when I coach them trying to pivot, because I also pivoted into the IT industry. I came to the United States over 20 years ago. I've done all sorts of things. I became a nurse. I've sold cars. I've sold used cars. I've done all kinds of stuff, right? And to pivot into believing that you're worth what you're going to be paid coming from where you were, it takes a decision to decide that the reason I want to do this is bigger than any difficulty I'm going to be faced with or I'm going to be challenged with. And the reason why that decision is important is because I realize, just like you are sharing today, that there is a price you have to pay for everything. That's just a fact. Working 11 hours a day as a food service worker, you go back home, you're tired, but you got to wear some tight stockings because your feet are swollen. You got to smile even when customers are insulting you for a $7 or $12 plate meal,
I do
right?
not.
And you get to wake up again in the morning and go do it again, and wake up and go do it, and go do it, and go do it, and go do it. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, with all that effort and all that engagement, you realize somebody spent those same amount of less amount of time putting in about 50% in a day, because that's just all the work you're needed to do, and making 6 times more than what you're making. And they are not smarter than you. They are not more intelligent. They are not more courageous. They are not more determined. The only thing that separates you and them is that they took a single decision and said, you know what? This is the path I'm going to chase, and I'm going to chase it till I get the results, right? So it's beautiful to hear this, especially coming from you, because I even remember when you went class, and with the way you took the program, the seriousness with which you took it, the questions you used to ask. I would call you on how many applications you've dropped, and you'll be telling me the volume of applications you've already dropped, and things like that, right? That tells you exactly what the result is going to be. The one thing I tell everybody: if you knock enough, the door is going to be open. It's a fact, right? And you've seen that. So tell me a little bit, on a day-to-day basis, working for the company you do, what is it you do?
Not as much as I did as a server, I'll tell you that. But by day, so as a Scrum Master at the company I am at, I'm responsible for facilitating the different Scrum ceremonies, and I interact with the product owners. So on a weekly basis, Monday through Friday, I have my stand-ups. I
Mhm,
am now facilitating 3 teams and an architectural team. The architectural team, we meet once a week. So we meet once a week on Tuesdays. But for the
mhm.
other 3 teams that I do facilitate the Scrum ceremonies for, we have a meeting from 9 a.m. to 9:30, 9:30 to 10 o'clock, and then from 10 o'clock to 10:30. Those are my daily stand-up meetings. Now, if there are no other issues that arise from the meetings, then for the rest of the day, I really have no other meetings, and it's just really checking on Jira to make sure that the statuses and anything else that I've been alerted to that I need to go ahead and double check on is correct in Jira. Um, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's the same thing. On Tuesdays, I have the extra meeting because of the architectural team, but so we'll make it 4 meetings on Tuesday. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, same thing.
Now, wait a minute. I think this time I need a sip of water.
It's not a lie.
So
It's
you're telling me you get your work, you start your meetings at about 8:30 or 9 a.m., and by 10:30, a lot of times your day is over,
yep.
and you get paid that huge amount of money. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we we need a we need a we need a little break here. All right, let's take a little break. So, hey, if you're just joining us, we appreciate you joining us. In the studio today, I have Rodney Fobi. Rodney is a professional Scrum Master out of Atlanta, Georgia. And he came through the Icon IT program and he wanted to just share his story, share his path. If hopefully it encourages someone out there to take his stand. So, Rodney, what would you say to a young man or young lady right now sitting out there and trying to decide if this is for them and if they should pursue this? What would you tell them?
Invest in yourself. Do it. It's I would look at me. I have never second guessed this decision I made. And that's, you can hear it from my family members, from my friends about how much I talk about being a Scrum Master and how much I encourage everyone around me to get into IT and get into Scrum if they're interested. You are not going to regret this decision. Believe in yourself. You came on this call because you believed in yourself that you might be able to do this. I'm telling you that you can't do it. Just put the time and effort into it and invest in yourself, and you will be able to do it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you for that. So, any plans for the rest of the year? I mean, of course, the income has changed significantly. I can tell you're always on travels. Any plans for the rest of the year?
Well, just entice you all. My company is going to be paying for a trip. I'm not sure if you are familiar with Afrotech. So I'm going having the company sponsor that so I can go on there. And then the rest of the year, just working and seeing how it goes. Looking to get that day.
Wow.
But
So
yeah,
your company is paying for your trip for a trip to go to Afrotech.
yes,
And Afrotech is, I would imagine, it's probably a seminar
yes.
for technologies of African extraction, that kind of thing. I mean, I'm just guessing. You tell me.
It's actually in Texas. It's a week-long conference, an IT conference.
Oh,
And
where?
yeah,
Oh,
it's
in Texas?
November, yeah, in Texas from November 17th. I can't remember the exact
Oh,
dates.
wonderful. Okay.
Let me
I
see the
would
next
like to learn about that. I live in Texas. I would like to be part of that conference too.
one. Oh, awesome.
Right?
Awesome.
I live in Texas. That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, we've had a beautiful conversation. We continue to have a nice time with Rodney. I'm not certainly going to let him go yet, but if you're just joining us, please go ahead, like our videos, share our videos. Go ahead to our Facebook page, to our YouTube page, to our LinkedIn page, and join us. We have a beautiful, busting, engaging, wonderful community in all those different social media platforms. Join us in those communities so you can get information. And for those of you just joining us right now, we actually have our next class coming up, right? And it's important that you're aware about it, just because, for those people who are also joining us at this time on the show, it's important that you understand that if you're interested in the Scrum Master program, which I really implore you to be, we have a class coming up starting the 25th of October. I'm just trying to get that out here to get the flyer so you can at least get a chance to see how it looks, right? And be able to join that class. So we have a class coming up here. Here is a flyer. Let me just share that for you. Let me just share that real quick, and you see. So here it is. It's coming up on the 25th, starting in 25th, which is on Tuesday of next week, and it ends on December 1st. Now, the interesting thing, I know some people will be asking themselves, in terms of the tuition is $1,500, but we have a payment plan system. You don't need to pay all of this upfront. You can just go ahead and make a down payment, and then you can pay periodically until the first 4 weeks of the class. If it's something you're convinced to pursue, please reach us at the numbers or book us a one-on-one appointment with me through one of the links on the chat. It's a 6 weeks program, 2 nights a week, very convenient. Even if you're working, it's 8 p.m. in the night to 10 p.m. Eastern time, which is 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We only take 15 students in our class. Okay. And right now we are almost full. So if it's something you're interested, don't delay that decision. Don't stagger it for next time. Please go ahead and make sure you register for this class. Again, like I mentioned, registration doesn't have to be the complete amount. You can make it down. Call us. I will let you know how much the down payment is, which is usually about 50%, and then you can pay the rest of the tuition progressively in the course of the class. Another thing I wanted to do also, and another thing I wanted to share with each and every one of you. Of course, this doesn't belong to Rodney, but it's a similar thing, right? I just wanted to share a sample of what an offer letter is, what students coming through our program have to go through, right? And what happens at the end. The reason I'm sharing this is, sometimes we talk about these things, we talk about these amounts, and people might be sitting online and thinking, okay, it's hard these days to know what to trust. I don't blame anybody, right? But it's important also to really just give people realistic pictures of what it is. If you look at the date, this is something that came out the beginning of this month on the 3rd, right? And the person started working on the 3rd of October. And this is the wage amount, $74 an hour. And if you multiply that by 2080, if you multiply that by 2080, right? You multiply that by 2,080 hours, which is a full-time hour a year. That person is already sitting somewhere close to about $150,000 a year, right? And it's important to understand that this stuff is real. This stuff is no hoax, it's no joke, it's no BS, it's real. And there are real people behind it. That's why Rodney took his time on a Friday evening to come and talk to you about what the opportunity is. I usually tell people, I say about 50, 60, maybe 80 years ago, there was the gold rush, right? And they knew at about 60 years ago, there was the oil rush. It was all about the oil industry, working in the oil industry in Qatar, in the Middle East, you're making money in Houston. And now it's the IT rush. If you want to be sure of the next 20 years of your life, get into the IT industry and get into it now, because the changes are phenomenal. The opportunity is incredible. The flexibility is there. But most importantly, it gives you a chance to see the world and to see life from a different perspective. Usually when you're struggling, especially financially, when there's always a lot of month after the paycheck, which means every paycheck that comes through, there's a little bit of the month that the paycheck cannot cover, you cannot think. You cannot be creative. You cannot even think about some of the other things you love to do, which are your passions, right? So tell me a little bit, Rodney, just looking at now the flexibility that comes through, right? With just being able to make a significant amount of money. Have you been engaged in some different passions that you like, some different things that are out of work that you're passionate about?
Yes, I'm afraid I'm becoming a little bit of a work addict because I'm actually looking for a second Scrum Master job. I have so much free time that I know that I can work two jobs. So spoken to my company about it, looking for a second Scrum Master position on the West Coast so I can offset it. And having free time, I love to do music. I create instrumentals.
Oh, you
That's my
do?
yes. I create
Oh,
instrumentals and
wow. Wow. Okay. Well, the
one.
next time we have you on the call, we'll love you to share some of your instrumentals with us, right? Next time I have you send the file to me, I can always upload it in the system. I have a whole studio here at home, and then I can bring it on during the call, right? Please, if you're joining us, you want more information, go to this link on the screen, book a one-on-one appointment with me, and I can be able to give you more information and tell you exactly what to do and how to progress with that. So, Ronnie, it was a great plumping pleasure having you. But before I let you go, any last words for the people listening to us?
Yes. First, I give Christine her flowers. I'd like to give Madame Sally Achu her flowers as well. Those are two great people. They were the leader from the first, and they were very instrumental in getting me on the track to become a Scrum Master. So I'd like to thank both of them. Secondly, don't 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 miss out on this opportunity because you feel that it might not be the right time or you feel it's not worth it. You know, I believe in you. You should believe in yourself. Yeah. The reason why you're all listening to this, why you're watching this, is because you have an inkling that you might be good, and I'm telling you that you are going to be good. So invest in yourself, and you're not going to regret this decision. If you need to contact me, reach out to me on LinkedIn. And I look forward to hearing from those of you who reach out to me. Apart from that, please book your consultations, or if you just feel motivated enough, just go ahead and sign up for the class. I promise you, this is a decision that you will not regret. You're going to be passing on the knowledge to others. You're going to be rambling on about it as I am right now. Whenever you see any family members, I'm telling them, get into Scrum, get into Scrum. And those people are interested, all right, go to Icon IT. But I promise you, you are not going to regret this decision. That's all I'm telling you. It's been beneficial to me, everybody around me. And with that being said, thank you again, Mr. Gustav, for having me on this call. I look forward to talking to any of you that reach out to me, and I look forward to seeing some of your acceptance letters as well as being Scrum Masters.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, the pleasure and honor is ours. Rodney, thank you for joining us. We certainly are glad to have you here today, right? Certainly know that we'll have a chance again to chat with you as you go out there, continue doing the fantastic job. Ladies and gentlemen, dear televiewers, thank you for tuning in today. It's a great plumping pleasure having you on the line. You have a good one. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us on the chat. Or if you don't have time on the chat, now go ahead, book an appointment through the link. Ask us any question, even on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, and we'll be able to help you with that. So until then, I want to leave you with this. I don't know what you've been through in your life so far. I don't know where you grew up. I don't know the circumstances of your upbringing. I don't know the challenges that you've had to deal with to be where you are today. But the one thing I know is that if you're ambitious and if you want to change something significant about your life, then you are capable. You are enough. You have all it takes to make that change. And it begins with you and making that decision. So until next time, you'll be well, you'll be blessed, and never stop being a blessing to somebody. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Thank you, Rodney.